recording. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Yep, here we go. Another one. All right, so quick run through on this analysis. I'm going to take you guys through the 6 pairs, but we're going to focus on the daily time frame at first, grab the overall trend, drop to the 4-hour, and then cover both a bullish and bearish scenario. Okay, so I'm going to do that with pretty much every pair. Very methodical, just going from the top-down analysis and then seeing what the most likely scenarios are. So what we can see from here is we've been very bullish. Okay, here is a nice break retest, little consolidation at this level, confirming it as support, followed by a rally toward our 97.25 resistance level. So we're seeing further consolidation in this area. So we're going to drop down to that and see what the 4-hour can tell us, but very clearly bullish here on the 4-hour. I mean, on the daily. All right, so here's the 4-hour. And here is that consolidation that we were just talking about. Okay, so here was the initial rally, came back, started consolidating, just been moving sideways. There's no real clear trend direction here. Yes, there is a bias. We've been overall bullish, but on this, at this level, on this time frame, you could see that price action just moving sideways. There's really no direction, right? So ideally, we want to try and line up with the overall trend. That's where, you know, ideally the most powerful move is going to come from. So we're looking for a break and retest of this range, you know, a bullish break and retest, looking for a higher low just above 96.3 with some confirming setups, right? And then we'll look towards the next resistance level here at 97.25. So that would be really nice to see. I don't really like consolidation. Again, there's really no trade opportunity when you're on like other pairs and stuff they are actually trading. There's just not much there. There's more risk when you're trading ranges, you know, opposed to trying to ride a trend. Okay, so that brings us to our second scenario, which is just further consolidation, right? It's going to push down towards support, maybe bounce off that level, maybe test resistance again. But for us to really consider this bearish, we have to see a full bearish break of this range and some lower highs below, right? This 95.8 level is that supporting a level for this range. We need to see that lower high below that level. Okay, pretty simple. All right, so that's DXY. You know, I mean, pretty straightforward, but, you know, it could leave us, you know, just kind of sitting on our hands for a couple of weeks, especially with, you know, the holiday approaching. This could definitely just kind of move sideways into the new year. Hopefully that's not the case, but, you know, that really sucked to wait the rest of the month for some moves. Let's move over to AU. Same thing, frame. What's going on here? What has price action been doing? And it's been moving down, so it's bearish. Very clearly, we had a little bit of high volume here. Nice pullback, attempted break, didn't really confirm. And then same thing happened here. So it pushed up, started consolidating, but we didn't really get, you know, normal market structure, didn't get a nice continuation once we broke that level. So this just came right back through, and we've been bearish since that point. Okay, so price action fell all the way down to our monthly support at 0.7, bounced off from there and is retesting, which is pretty much broken structure here, but also a major resistance level at 0.72. So bearish on the daily. Let's see what the 4-hour has to say. Just expand this a little bit. All right, so we've been very bearish. Here's that bounce. Came back, pretty massive retest, right? This is a pretty big distance here, right? A pip. So it's a pretty deep pullback, a lot of volume there. I'm definitely looking very bullish on the 4-hour, but, you know, if we look to the left, has it really broken anything? You know, it's really lining up with this lower high here and kind of just consolidating. So if anything, you know, we're definitely interested in a nice reversal from here. And I just very simply look for the next lower high, the first stage of, you know, a bearish 4-hour trend again. So that'd be very nice to see. Break, retest, continuation, and then we're short. So that's probably the easiest, most simple to see setup here. And would obviously be the, you know, highest reward. I mean, this is going to be crazy risk reward. How many pips is this? Probably about the same, or no, just shy of that, 140 roughly, if we get a pretty tight entry. So that's a good amount of pips, pretty tight stop loss. That'll be a nice trade if it plays out that way. But if this 4-hour trend is actually, you know, going to turn bullish and break through this level, we're looking for a higher low above 0.72. Okay, that would give us a lot of confirmation that this trend is going to continue bullish, and then we'll target higher towards key resistance levels and so on. All right, so that's where we're at here on AU. Let's move over to AJ. It's going to be pretty similar, a little more volume here on AJ, but let's do the same thing we did for the last 2 pairs. Go to the daily time frame, see what the overall trend is. Let's get rid of that. All right, cool. So zoom out a little bit more. Pretty bearish. This one's kind of been all over the place, right? We were bearish pretty steadily here for a while. Then we started getting this high volume range and then this crazy rally. So price action shot all the way up to this 85.5 level. Didn't break, more or less just a test, right? We consolidated and then reversed. So we were bullish at that point once this broke, and then nice reversal, and then started getting strong characteristics of a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, huge bearish volume, breaking through support levels. And we actually broke back through 81.5, which was broken structure back here. Price action is now below that again. Hit support at 79 flat, came back up, and that's where price action is now. We're consolidating just below 81.5. So really key level. Want to see how price action plays out here. That's going to determine a lot for us. But yeah, we're back to bearish here on the daily. So let's go to the 4 hour. See what the 4 hour is telling us. Okay, very bearish is here as well. Nice steady trend. Okay, here's that bounce right off 79. Deep retest, very similar to AU. But again, you got to ask yourself the same question. Has this broken anything? Not really. More or less just meeting these prior lower highs right at resistance. It's a good confluence area. A little deep for a ideal reversal. I would have liked to see the lower high down here, but this is still acceptable. You know, we just got to be a little more picky with our confirmations that we're considering here. So the way that this potentially could go is if it maintains its overall bearish trend, we're looking for price action to fall to 80.4 first. Now there could be some lower time frame entries there. If you catch a nice setup and the risk reward makes sense, take that trade, target 80.4, but then also look for a lower high below that level. There's definitely a great opportunity to short right here, stop loss just above 84, and then targeting back down towards 79 support. So that would be great. Two opportunities there on the bearish side. But if this does continue bullish, very simply looking for a break and retest of 81.5. Okay, so this is the key level that's been holding price action bearish. If we see price action break and retest that level, we'll then be interested in entering long. Okay, and then we'll target up towards our key resistance level, our weekly at 83.25. So this one's looking pretty good. This is one of my best prospects for this week for me personally. Definitely going to be watching AJ early this week. All right, so that one's pretty good. Let's move over to UJ. Same, this one looks like crap. I'm gonna be honest. Before we even get into it, AJ looks like crap. So just be prepared.
Stay away.
Let me just lay that foundation first before we get into this analysis. But on the daily, we're bullish. The daily looks good, right? We had a nice period of consolidation below key resistance at 111.5. We broke through it pretty aggressively. Nice retest, and then just continued with that crazy bullish volume. We actually broke through the monthly right here at 113, but now we're getting this consolidation and then this high volume, like attempted break, and then it comes right back down. It has real no direction. So it's a little bit sloppy here on UJ. Now we're at the lower end of this range. It looks like it's confirming. We're going to drop to the 4 hour, get a closer look at this mess, but we are bullish technically here on the daily, just above that monthly. Keep that in mind. All right, so like this is the consolidation here. Look at this. It was good over here. This is some tight consolidation. There's actually some good, if you're a range trader, again, some good opportunities. Over here, it gets messy, right? We're getting this high volume crap. This is a fake out to the downside, fake out to the upside, 1 and then 2. Okay, and I mean fake out meaning there's no higher low above this range once it broke. So notice that we have just sheer volume. So huge push to the upside, comes right back down, right? Fails to give us a higher low that follows through. Same thing here. Rockets to the upside, up, 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 stalls, comes right back down with even more volume. And now we're back in the range, essentially. Okay, and I'm just going to consider this back in the range because we're still consolidating, right? We're above the monthly. We are now just above that 113.45 level. You know, this is technically broken structure here, but there's a lot of traffic here, right? I mean, you guys may see this and think there's a lot of zones, and normally my zones are pretty minimal, but that's seen here on we have broken structure, we have a monthly zone, whole bunch of chop and consolidation. So nothing's really that clear. I'm not going to give you guys any trade scenario between these levels because I just think that'd be irresponsible. There's just too much room for error here. Not enough reward for the risk. So if we're going to continue bullish according to the daily time frame, I'm looking for that, lost higher low that we haven't gotten. above 114.15. So nice break, retest, normal structure, and then boom, we could enter long on that. Target towards new highs. So that would be really great to see. But if this does break bearish, look for the complete opposite, right? I want to see that lower high below 112.7. And then boom, we could target down towards the next level of support. But pretty much, while we're in here, there's not much. Sure, price action could, drop like this, but there's, wow, not like that, but more like this. If price action does do this, it's just gonna be really hard to find a trade that's worth taking. Risk reward wise, if the volume's there, do you really want to enter when there's this much consolidation? There's no real direction. There's a lot on the table here. So I would be patient with this one. Let DXY do its thing, but this kind of goes hand in hand with DXY, right? Crazy consolidation, no real direction. UJ showing the same thing. So it's really not that surprising. But yeah, UJ is a mess. So have fun with that one. Let's move on over to EJ. This one's looking okay. This one's not that bad. But we're going to get to that in a second. So we're just going to get the trend, overall trend from the daily. Very bearish. This one looks similar to AJ, right? Where it had this period of high volume consolidation, huge rally to the upside, comes right back down. Okay, very similar to AJ. JPY pairs definitely have a lot of volume. So it's no surprise there either. Okay, very bearish now though. So let's go to the 4-hour. See what the 4-hour is telling us. So there is some consolidation here, but this one's looking a little bit better because this is actually a pretty high volume range. So just about 150 pips for the split there. So if we do catch a nice reversal here, we are overall bearish. I actually would feel comfortable if the setups are nice, taking a short here because there are so many confirmations kind of lining up and supporting a bearish outlook. So I would catch a nice short opportunity if, again, the volume was there. A nice bearish variation, 3 in a row, close to resistance. And then this is basically what it would look like. Let's just size it up for the sake of risk reward, see if it makes sense. And it does. Well over 3 to 1. Yeah, I probably even bring the stop loss up just to be a little safer. Drop that lot size, bring the stop loss up. Good risk reward, just make it a little bit more balanced. So there you go, 50 pips for about 140-ish, something like that, just over 2.5 to 1. So yeah, great trade there. Okay, but let's say this doesn't happen and we just break to the upside, look for that higher low to confirm the transition of 128.85 resistance, right? We want to see it confirm a support, and then we'll get in, target higher, and hopefully reach 130 resistance. So yeah, EJ is not too bad. This range, this consolidation is not really that great, but we are seeing some volume now. So that's why if this does follow through, we'll be interested. But until then, we're waiting. Okay, got to stay patient this week, not trying to get caught off guard. All right, so let's move over to gold. Gold's looking good, guys, surprisingly enough. Gold's looking pretty good. All right, so what's this one saying to us? All right, so we know if we zoom out, overall very bearish. We've been bearish since all the way back here in August for the most part. We have had these attempts to the upside, but if you zoom out, right, they're more or less just lower highs. Right, price action is consolidating, volume is dropping, but overall still bearish. Okay, so good to note. But let's go to the 4-hour now. See what the 4-hour is telling us. Okay, and those of you guys that have joined the session before, or any of you that have heard me rant about gold in the last year, this range is deadly. 1800 between 1825. As long as we're between that level, it's a range. If we're below it, we're generally, looking to the downside. If we're above it, we're a little more hesitant, pretty much looking to the upside. So those have been the rules we've been playing by for pretty much the last, year or so, or whenever this range started. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a more accurate scale. Let's say back here. So actually July. So 6 months, for the last 6 months. This has been on our radar, this range. Okay. So we're below it, which is great. Heavy consolidation around this area, which is a bad sign of support, but we don't want it to act as support, right? You never want to see heavy consolidation at a key level where you're expecting reversals or reactions. That shows a weakening of that level, usually, right? Here, and that's where we're headed, heavy consolidation through 1800, well, at and through, and now we're testing that level as resistance. So now really we're just a few confirmations away from an entry, a really nice short entry. And like we just said on EJ, if we get the right setups, strong bearish variations, Ideally, 3 in a row, nothing too crazy. If you see too much volume on a candle, it doesn't leave any room for entry because then your risk to reward gets blown out of the water. So hopefully we get something, reasonable. I'm trying to look for a good setup over here somewhere to show you guys, but this volume's been nuts. But either way, looking for a nice bearish variation to then enter short on. Let's size this one up for shits. It looks something like this. Down towards 1740. Again, 2.5 to 1. You could play with this a little bit more. I'd even bring it down to 2 to 1. I normally let indices huge lot size floating around all the time. I try to keep it 2 to 1 for most of it. But yeah, this is what the trade's looking like. Risking 200, getting over 400 pips. So yeah, gold would be a really nice trade if this played out. But as you guys know, the opposite here, if we broke back into the range, I really hope we don't. We would need to see a higher low to confirm that. And then, for those of you, again, that like trading ranges, all eyes are on 1825 then. All right, so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Quick recap. I did DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. Not expecting too much volume this week, but, we'll see. So if you guys want to go back to these or check these out through the week, compare it to your analysis, we did drop them in Discord and Telegram. So I'm going to pass it off to Angelo. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Another week.
All right, so the last literally 3 times I did this, my computer just fucking blew up.
Oh, geez, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, so I'm going to see right now. I'm going to actually close down a lot of the programs that I have open.
You got to put that thing in like a friggin' ice cooler or something.
Dude, I ordered a new one.
Good, good. What's the shipping on that? Is it bad right now?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that I didn't realize that when you, I guess, order these app like these MacBooks, they actually come from fucking China.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's literally coming from Shanghai.
Okay, so there's a good amount of shipping time on that.
I think well, I did order it like probably like week and a half ago, and it's supposed to get delivered. It said December 14th, then I got an email that I was being delayed.
No, that's actually not that bad. I
No,
would have thought it'd be a lot longer.
I ordered some other shit from there and it came in 3 days. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
FedEx, bro.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
FedEx.
If
Yeah.
anything overnight.
I was like, what the I was like, would you strap this thing on a fucking rocket? Like, Jesus Christ.
Honestly.
But then there's like other times where it takes like 3 weeks, like a month.
Yeah, I've had to wait a month for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lena, you got a question? Oh wait, hold on. Got it. So looking at DXY, you just went over why did that confirm the setup since we are in an uptrend. Well, the daily's in an uptrend, but the 4 hours in heavy consolidation. So waiting for some sort of 4-hour transition before we can really make any play on DXY. But Angela's about to cover it again anyway, so that's why we cover it twice.
Oh yeah. You see my screen?
Yeah, good to go.
Let me just pull up.
No problem, Alina. I hope I'm saying that right.
Do you still just see my Google Chrome?
I see your watch list. Now we're good. Now we're good. I see it all.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, so let's start with DXY. I actually haven't looked at this thing in a few weeks, but as you can see, my zone is fairly similar to the one that Nick had. Just looking for it to sit below this like 96,400 area. So let's go ahead and bump up to the weekly time frame. So look at the weekly time frame, how this thing is just sitting below 96,500, 96,300. We've got the doji, another doji, another like more spinning top. So these are all reversal candles. Sure, it could pop up, but this is really looking like it's going to reverse here and shoot to the downside at least a little bit until we get some sort of pullback. We're so overextended right now from this last move. It moved up about 300 pips, 280 pips to the upside. So like even look down here, we had the doji, then it pulled back about 60 pips, then it shot up, about 280. So we're looking for the same thing here, and we can see We have some support at this level. This is definitely a key support area, just like on the lower time frame, 95, 740. We've got this wick, because remember, we're all doing the weekly right now. We've got this wick at 95, 520. So I'm thinking there's going to be some sort of pullback before it does potentially go higher. We are below that weekly zone. And if we look back, this is based on resistance, support, 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 support right here. So it's interesting. I mean, overall, this obviously is bullish. We're just kind of overextended right now, and we do need the market to come down and breathe a little bit before we potentially shoot any higher here. So DXY, with that in mind, coming over to GU. GU, can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. I had a heart attack for a second. I thought we lost you.
Oh, word. Yeah. The question. Okay, word. All right. So let me just check. Yeah, if my audio gets bad, just let me know.
Alright.
Is it going in and out or no? It's good.
No, you're good now. It's not
Oh,
bad
word.
yet.
All right. So let's just start on GU then. Let's go to the weekly time frame. The weekly on GU, with it in mind that we need DXY to have some sort of pullback. So if DXY starts to pull back, right? If DXY starts to lose value, the dollar starts to lose value, then GU would inevitably start to push up, right? The dollar would lose strength, GBP would gain strength against the dollar, and this pair would move up. We're actually looking for that to happen as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and take off some of these things I have marked just so that you can see right here. Yeah, I can hear you. You're like kind of going in and out.
A little bit there, but you're back. You're good. It might be the connection too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Because when you were talking, when you were going, there was like a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? Just right in the
It
chat.
might be me. I have a lot of devices hooked up to my Wi-Fi, actually. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, right in the. Can you guys hear me all right? Just right in the chat. All right, word. Yeah, I think it might be your connection.
Yeah, I have like 30 devices. I'm turning everything off.
Let me see. All right, so GU again, we're looking for potentially some sort of pullback here. Look how last week's candle closed. We had like a spinning top candle, but large body on this. So buyers stepped in right here at the end of this large push to the downside. So weekly time frame, we're definitely looking for some more reversal here. We've got the 133 200 area. If I zoom out on this, why do I have this zone marked? We can very clearly see we've got resistance all along this area. We got support, support, resistance, 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 support. So this is just a key level right here. As long as we're below this level, we're looking to reject it and go to the downside. If we pop back above this area, then we'll look for some sort of buys into the upside. So coming to the 4 hour here, 4 hour time frame has overall just been very bearish, right? So 4 hour has been bearish for quite some time. We've got these lower highs, lower lows, boom, like this. Then we made a new low, came up, all this choppiness. And then now this is where we're currently at. We pushed down, we came up, but look how last week closed. So last week actually closed above this level of resistance. So we had this acting as support. We broke below here, we made a new low. Then we came up, we actually rejected this area, and then we reversed from there. So we had a lot of volume step in at the end of the week, about 40 pips or so, 66, 68 pips at the end of the week, just move the market up. So we've definitely already broken some resistance right now. But I am still bearish on this overall. As long as we're below this level, this 132, and even up to this area, I'm looking to short this pair. And we can see how the market opened. It actually gapped down about 28 pips, 30 pips. So we had a gap down telling us that sellers were stepping in like over the weekend, continuing to apply some selling pressure here. So I'm looking for the first entry opportunity on a rejection of the 132 700 area, right around this area. And then ultimately, if it does get all the way back up to this area, I'm looking to short it here as well. So below this 133 270, this key level on the weekly time frame, I am bearish on GU. Now, if DXY does pull back, like I said, this will shoot up. So this will move up into more of this area. And then that's when we're going to be looking more at that trade than anything else. So let's go ahead, do this. Boom. So yeah, if DXY again pushes down, this will be a nice push up. into this area, and then we'll look for the second short. So again, entry 1 here, entry 2 here. We'll see what happens on GU. Let's go to NU next. Let's go up to the weekly. So NU is in a similar situation as GU. If I zoom out, I have this whole ass level marked here. What is this based on? We have resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, support. So this is definitely a key area. This is around the 68,500 area, 6,800. So between that 50 pip range, we've seen rejection, we've seen support. So we've seen price act with a lot of volatility in this area. And then look at last week, we had this bullish candle. So the market pushed down a lot. It pushed down 380 pips, and now it's pulling back. So we'll see if it can stay below this area coming down to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame overall, obviously very bearish. But let's just focus in on this right here. We've already gotten a break, a retest, a break, a retest, and now we're just kind of hovering around this area. So I originally had an entry marked right here. We did have a break of support here, retested as a retest right here. So this I would take as this is like a less high probability trade in my opinion, to be honest, just because of all of this breaks of structure right here, and we're kind of still maintaining above this level. And I'm just looking at this candle like shot up after dipping down. But this is kind of entry 1. If I were to actually enter on this, I would do like 0.5% or so. But I think waiting a little bit longer probably would be more favorable on this one, just because of the fact that we had all these breaks of structure right here. So for example, if it does something like this, if it gets below this area, this would be a much better short opportunity, much more high probability, just because we're already breaking down. If we go to the lower time frame, like the 30-minute time frame, this is in a downtrend on the lower time frame, right? It broke support here, retest as resistance. That's why this is kind of trade number 1. But this would be that new leg. So it would form a new low, then we'd enter on that first lower high after that new low form. So short on NU, much like GU, if we end up breaking above, let's go back to the 4-hour. If we end up getting all the way above this area, that's the only time that I'm going to actually start to look for buys, is when we get all the way above this area. I heard some robo feedback.
Yeah, it can just zoom at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be you though. I don't know.
It may be.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me all right, or am I cutting out? Because that would
Might
suck. That would suck if I'm getting cut out at all. Yeah, clear. So I think your connection might be beat.
It might just be me.
You're fucked, dude. At that
Shit,
Walmart, at that Walmart Wi-Fi. Oh, he said you're cutting a bit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We gotta fix it. We gotta get some Ethernet cables.
Nah,
We
I gotta
do something.
Oh man. All right, let's try to finish it out here before my
Oh
machine
no.
blows up. All right, let's see. All right, so NU again, not taking buys unless we get all the way above 68,200 area. All right, so let's go over to UCAD. All right, so UCAD is looking interesting. We're just stuck in this range right now. We have our level here. We've got a level down here. Why do I have a level here? We've got support all in this area, resistance here, resistance, 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 resistance. And then down here, we've got support, resistance, resistance. And then look at this wick. So this wick came down, wicked into the 12600 area, and then it ended up closing all the way up here. Now this is about 100 pip wick, 110 pip wick. So that's nothing, to be fucking around with. That's a serious pullback right there. And if we go down to the lower time frame, so let's just pop down. This is definitely in a bearish trend, right? We had a reversal. We had an uptrend. It was trending all along this area. We broke the trend, smashed below. Now we're coming back for the retest here. So this is overall bearish trend, but you just got to be, conscious of we are in a range, right? This is not a small range. It's 170 pips. So it's definitely nothing to like fuck around with. But at the same time, I'm going to use this as a target, right? I'm not going to target all the way down here. I'm going to use this lower zone as a target. And I'm also going to be mindful of, I don't want to take buys necessarily until we're down here. And as long as we're up near the top, I want to take sells. And if we're overall in the downtrend on the 4-hour, it's also to me lining up as more confirmation to sell. And then as you can see, I've got my 4-hour level. We've got resistance, support. So this is a great area to sell from right here at 1273. And then if it comes up higher, we can then sell even more aggressively up in this area, 12760, 127,650. So this is a little different idea than NU and GU, because GU and NU were actually looking for continuations that would go along with the US dollar gaining strength. And then UCAD, I'm actually looking at the opposite. I'm looking for UCAD to go to the downside. So this is like something that if I were to actually get in on these trades right now, right? If I were to log onto my account, enter UCAD short right now, and then enter NU short right now as well. If this starts to pop up, right, and we start to get into drawdown, that would mean that UCAD most likely would then start to come into profit. And then I would just cut this NU trade short, and then I would just hold the UCAD trade. And it would just be a good example of like risk management and like having multiple trades open. And the opposite, if UCAD started to go against me and then NU started to go toward my target, I would just cut UCAD short and run that one. So sometimes when you have like conflicting ideas like that, it actually is beneficial to like trade both of them because you're ultimately gonna at least hit on one of those trades. So that's UCAD. Let's go over to GJ. So GJ is interesting. Let's just hit up on the weekly. I actually redrew all of my levels this week, so I have all fresh new levels on here, which is good. Sometimes you just got to clear your charts that way you can see things a little bit more clearly. So we can see here on the weekly, if we just zoom out, why do I have this level marked? We've got resistance all along this area, even going back all the way to here. And then we've got support all in this area. So this is an area where the market has tested, pulled back numerous times. And then look at last week's candle. So the two things that I always look for on the weekly is just where's my levels? What did last week's candle do? What is kind of overall structure? We can see last week's candle is kind of like an inverted hammer. So we had this huge drop, 700 pips, whatever. And then now we have the pullback right here. As we come to the 4-hour, we can see on the 4-hour, we had this downtrend, boom, 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 all these lower highs and lower lows. And then we had a little bit of a surge through. We broke the trend line. And then we were searching for support, right? So it dipped all the way down into the key level. And then it dipped down here again. And now we're starting to surge a little bit towards the upside. So, I mean, this is exactly how we teach in the course. It's just downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, wait for the break of structure, which would be this area, and then buy on the first higher low right here. Boom. So this is similar to what we're looking for right now. We're basically searching for this whole ass example here on the actual chart. And if we were to, sometimes like if you guys are lost for some beginners, it's good to just map it out like this. And then you can actually go ahead and hide the candles. And then, okay, you can kind of see things a little bit more clearly now, as to what's going on in the market. We had a little bit of a break structure. We're realistically looking to get in at the retest of this previous high, right? Whenever there's a break, you want to bring on your fibs. And we're always trying to get in at either 61.8, 38.2, or the retest of the previous high. As you can see, it did hit 61.8. We bring this back on, came down here, bullish engulfing candle, support level, key level. So this is actually a good entry signal to get in on right there. So let's just take some of this off, clean this up a little bit like this. So I marked this down. Like, I don't want to necessarily enter right now. Sure, you could. Like you could enter right here, throw your stops below here, and then just take a more like swing trade. We were targeting this previous high, but we really want to get in on something with a much tighter stop loss. If it does come up here and do like a break and retest, we probably could get in on something similar to this 50 pip stop loss instead of 120 pips, right? Even if it's 60, you're still getting like a 4-to-1 risk reward in this area. So yeah, GJ kind of just waiting on this right now, unless you did want to enter on this and throw your stops like literally below this area. But I want to wait and get like a better risk reward on this one. So that's GJ. Those are pretty much all the Forex pairs that I'm going to cover. I want to get into BTC though, because this thing has been interesting, because right when everyone thought it was going to go to 100K, pretty much just died. Like it's pretty wild.
Honestly.
Pretty wild, dude. And I was, it's like interesting to me because it's like everyone builds confidence in this thing and then it just dies always.
Yep. And then cycle repeats.
Yeah. And then it just fucking thing like just comes to life and just goes nuts.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's crazy because this is a pretty significant pullback percentage wise. What is that from the top there?
Oh, dude, it's like 20%.
Yeah, because what do they say? They say 30% is a crash, right?
35.
Yeah, so technically by those rules, that's a mini crash, but overall still very bullish, here on this. Like this is an uptrend on the weekly.
This was a
Very
50% crash.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
I mean, even if it could even head a little bit lower to 40K, still be bullish overall.
Wow, dude. Well, look at it like this. I'm looking at it like this. This was the previous crash. Look how it just paused, found support, and consolidated. This thing's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. Right. Like what's the what's the what's it called? The bar pattern tool. Like if we were to, or what's the percent increase from that 50% crash to the
the
65?
ghost.
Yeah.
Oh no, this isn't it.
Oh no, not that one.
I
The
don't
bar
know.
pattern.
I don't know what that is.
There it is. So yeah. So the dip now is what we're experiencing,
It's
roughly.
a little bit less than that. So let's do
Yeah, you could shrink it slightly.
this one.
Yeah, that's good. So just to visualize what could be possible, by no way is this, an analysis or forecasting. This is just highlighting, essentially previous data and applying it to, present data, seeing what the potential is. So where does that put us? 80K?
At a limit order. Yeah, like up to 80.
Yeah, up to 80, which is very possible. Very, very possible. Oh, this looks like a giant ascending, triangle, right? With resistance being right near that 65 level, waiting for that level to kind of pop.
No, this is as bullish as it's gonna get.
Yeah. No,
Look at this thing. Like, fuck, this thing formed a high, formed a higher low, formed a new high. Now it's pulling. Like, this is healthy.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is looking nice.
Fuck.
And, guys, right now, a lot of people will consider this on sale, right? So that goes with the rest of the market. Obviously, it follows what Bitcoin does for the most part. So right now we're in one of these dips. So this is the time, to buy or to add slowly to dollar cost average, all that good stuff. Now is that time.
This would be a great increase, 66%.
Hell yeah. It's phenomenal. And just like to put that into perspective, guys, Ethereum would probably do something similar. A lot of the altcoins would pop, with 10 times this percent increase, so it's just the market we're in right now. It's still so new. Things are volatile. Things are very dependent on BTC. And, we're still seeing these huge increases. I mean, 70% increase is not small by any means. And just look how much value one BTC has. So that's crazy. That just speaks a lot to the interest that's coming into the crypto. Let me check chat real quick. Marco. Okay, so you're talking to somebody on Telegram. Not the only account I have on Telegram is the Forex League one. If there's anyone else on Telegram with my name, Nick Dark FX, or any version of it, it's a fake. So don't message anybody on Telegram unless you're in the Forex League chat or you're messaging us at Forex League on Telegram only. Because there are impersonators on Telegram too. If you need help kind of differentiating that, DM me on IG. I'll help you figure it out.
Oh, there are
Okay, Marco.
so
Yeah,
many-
that was a personal message. You can't see it actually.
there are so many impersonators on fucking Telegram.
It's so bad. And they're not small either. Some of these guys actually have like, I mean, they're fake, I assume, or at least I hope, but they have like, a good amount of followers or pretty big, groups. It's pretty shitty. These scammers, you gotta watch. You're buying if it goes down 50%, Joe. Okay, it's a good strat, but also, just read price action too on these higher time frames, just see what price action's doing. But yeah, it's not bad. Half off, man. Can't go wrong with that. Ask me if I trade crypto and gold. So that's why. Yeah, I don't remember having a conversation like that, Marco. So yeah, just DM me on Instagram actually, because I want to see who you're talking to. Also, if you could screenshot and send to me. Just one less scammer that we could keep off the radar, But yeah, so what do you think, Angelo?
I'm
Oh, you
gonna
got
cover,
another.
I'm gonna cover fucking Stella as well. But yeah, I mean, going back to BTC, like down to the lower time frame, guys, looking at it like this, it's just bearish right now. Like it's definitely very bearish. The level that I'm looking for this thing to break before we obviously start to get more bullish is the previous lower high, right? So just stick to structure. It's the 52 mark, right? So 52,000 seems to
Good.
be it seems to be a very strong resistance level at the moment. So once price starts to get more bullish above here, then we'll get more optimistic to start taking buys on this. But again, coming back up to the weekly, I mean, look, let's take this off. Actually, I'm going to leave that on. But I just want to highlight this whole ass area right here. Let's take a look at what the hell happens in this range. We'll come down to the 4 hour. Oh no.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, look at it like this, right? We had a downtrend very clearly. This was that whole crash. We're not going to highlight every single thing, but this was that whole crash right here. Boom, made this new low, and then all of a sudden, boom, we had a breakout. But then what happened? We never made a higher low. We came down, little failed higher low, came down, failed, came down, failed. And I mean failed by if we were to bring on the fibs and kind of bring on moving averages and look at support levels, like this never really establishes a new trend on a lower time frame. Just a failed higher low, comes all the way down to here, and then we break the support level. So this level is broken. So if we were to map this out, right? I'm going to just go like this and just map out everything. Now, if we were a beginner and just starting off learning market structure, now we have a lot of fucking lower highs, a lot of shit going on here. This is pretty much what I'm looking for right here. We have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, boom, boom, boom. Then we have this. This is a lower high that forms. We were to fib this. This is like the 78.6 level, 61.8, probably 78.6 right there. Take this off. So rejects 78.6, makes a new high. Then we're searching for that first high or low after the new high. It never establishes it, breaks support. Now we're back in a downtrend. So we're back in a downtrend coming on here. And then we have another little break of this lower high. Boom. We actually form a higher low. We could have gotten on a trade here. Would have went up a ton of pips, right? But this is BTC. Then we would have went break even, whatever. And then what happens? It breaks again. And then it finally fucking surges. So we have like this trend line. It's still bearish, still bearish. Then it finally just breaks. Like, how bullish is this, right? it just moves fucking 30%, moves 25% within several hours, within like what, 3 days, actually, not several hours. Within 3 days, it moves literally 20-25%, right? Then it makes a new high, a retest these previous highs, this high, you can see it comes back. So we don't want to get in on this too early, like going to where we are right now, right? We need something similar to happen to that. We need price to have a nice surge to the upside. Maybe it'll reject a little bit, find support. Then that's when we're going to look to get back in on BTC bullish. Obviously, if you're not trying to leverage trade this, you're just trying to buy and holds, it's a decent time to just buy BTC right now because you're getting it on a nice discount, like Nick said. Nice 25% discount right now. If you're at the peak, 35%, like shit. It's pretty good. All right, so last, let's look at Stellar. So Stellar has been pretty good with market structure, as is with a lot of cryptos because the market's so new. So I have this upper level of support, of resistance. I have this level of resistance, of support. This is at 28 cents. This is at 40 cents. So we're just trading within this range. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can actually see price came down. Look at this huge wick, literally a 25% wick right there. And then we followed that up with a doji. So this thing, maybe it'll push down again. I do not believe it's going to close below here. I think this thing is going to go bullish back towards the upside. But first, we need to wait until we get some sort of, same thing with BTC. We need some volume to kick in to the upside. We need the market to change. Right now, the way that this is looking is it's just in a downtrend. Like, it's clearly in a downtrend. We're rejecting the key level right now. But I personally don't want to sell just because of this wick. This large wick to the downside, this fish for sellers, and then buyers snatched it up. So I'm feeling like there's going to be some sort of reversal here, but we just have to wait. So I'm waiting on this one. No trades this week on Stellar, waiting on that one and BTC, but I'm just going to map this out. This is going to be what I'm looking for. Get above the resistance level, maybe a little bit higher. Let's change this up. First higher low right here. And then obviously, hopefully it'll start to trend to the upside. So that's everything. All the analysis for the week. I do have XRP too, but I'm not going to cover that one. So we had Stellar, BTC, really just waiting on these for the volume to kick in. Then we have GJ, UCAD, which is the more immediate trade right now. NU, again, more immediate trade. GU, no trade at the moment, but there's 2 trades coming up. And then DXY, again, like we went over. So all the analysis, like Nick said, is posted inside of the telly. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up Telegram real quick and reshare. Let's see this. All right, so let me know when you can see my Telegram.
You're good.
All right, word. All right, so in Telly, obviously, for those that are interested in the rapid signals, we'll be posting this week another review video. We've already got a signal out before, just came out on golds, a sell. So we're gonna have a bunch of signals coming out during the week. We have about 5 to 10 trades coming out per day. We are gonna do a sale on the signals too, so I'll just announce that inside of the Telegram. And then other than that, I mean, just take advantage. We got a few promos going on right now, like with the funded trader. No promos going on for the lifetime membership. Lifetime is full price at the moment. And yeah, I mean, other than that, market's a bit going to be a bit slow at the end of the year, you know, just because of the holiday, banks are going to be closed, everything like that. So just beware of that, guys. If you're in challenges or, you know, you're trying to trade and you're trying to trade literally around Christmas and New Year's, the market hours are going to be a little bit different. We'll still be hopping on. I think Christmas falls on like a Saturday this year.
I think you're right on that. Let me double check. It's Saturday.
Yeah, so we'll probably still be on for that Sunday market blitz the day after. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this session. This month's already flying by, December 12th.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Dude, it's wild.
Zipping by. End of the year is coming up quick, guys.
Yeah.
So, you know, goal is to finish strong. You know, be patient. This month is always like a big ass test, you know, but yeah, other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of the year. I mean, yeah, as Angelo said, we're gonna see you guys again on a couple more sessions, but yeah, guys, keep
Yep.
going strong.
Yep. Enjoy the holiday. We'll see you guys again next week, and just look out in the Telegram for more updates.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Peace out, everybody.
Peace, guys.